Bitcoin is actually bigger than NVIDIA, bigger than Samsung, and of course, bigger than McDonald's. In this video, I'm going to be comparing just how big Bitcoin is compared to different big companies out there. I guarantee you're going to get insightful knowledge from this video. So remember to watch to the very end. And by the way, if you're new here, my name is Afagzad Sifuna. And for this comparison, I'm going to be using a very simple farm size metric to compare how big Bitcoin is as compared to other big companies out there. This metric is the market capitalization metric. Market capitalization, popularly known as market cap, is essentially a measure of how big a company is and is a key indicator for investors out there for them to have a sense of how big a company is as they are planning to put their money or invest their money in any company. And beyond investors, also for mergers and acquisition companies out there, it's a key measure as to whether a company that's subject to acquisition is a good value or not. So market cap has very applicable use out there. That's why I'm going to be using market cap to compare how big Bitcoin is as compared to other big companies out there. And of course, you might be wondering, why not, for example, use sales, use, for example, revenue figures, use, for example, total asset base figures, and so forth. I'm using market cap because it is objective. Using metrics like sales, for example, won't give you a good indication of how big a company is. And that's because different products out here have different inputs and also they have different selling prices. And beyond that, we're talking about comparison of products from different sectors, right? Also in the same breath, different companies invest in assets or hold assets differently. For example, a labor-intensive company, which is very hard in manufacturing, won't have the same asset base, for example, with a technology company, which is providing software which are highly valuable but don't have a lot of physical assets. Having said that, market capitalization essentially looks at the value of a company from the realm of total outstanding shares out there multiplied by the current value of that company's share in stock. What do I mean? It's essentially, simply put, total number of shares multiplied by the current price of a share out there. You might be wondering, I'm talking about stock. Yes, it is also a very close comparison with the cryptocurrency market. In the stock market, we're talking about total number of outstanding shares multiplied by price of a single stock, right? And in cryptocurrency space, is gonna be the total number of cryptocurrencies mined which are in supply multiplied by the current price of a single cryptocurrency or a single coin. That is the basis upon which we're gonna be making a comparison between Bitcoin and stocks or other companies out there. So, jumping into the comparison, we need first to appreciate and understand how big Bitcoin is. As we're speaking right now, Bitcoin has a price of 24k USD for a single coin, right? 24,000 US dollars for a single coin. And with about 19.1 million coins in circulation, that puts the market cap of Bitcoin at about 460 billion US dollars. And by the way, Bitcoin has been in existence for only about 13 years because it first came to be at the start of 2009. With this market cap of 460 billion US dollars, actually Bitcoin is one of the most valued brands out there, as you're gonna see in this video. So the companies I'm gonna be picking to compare with Bitcoin are gonna be companies from at least appreciating different sectors or different industries, at least appreciating different geographical regions, and also appreciating difference in length of this company's existence. So the 5 companies which I'm going to be looking into to compare how big they are vis-a-vis Bitcoin are NVIDIA, Samsung, McDonald's, Alibaba Group of Companies, and lastly, Pfizer. Guys, those are the 5 companies I'm going to be comparing with Bitcoin just to see how big Bitcoin is. And by the way, Bitcoin is bigger than all these 5 companies, as you're going to see. Let's jump into the first company, NVIDIA. NVIDIA is an American company which was actually incorporated in Delaware in 1993, but currently is headquartered in Santa Clara in California. NVIDIA is into the business of making GPUs, the graphics processing units which are used in computers and gaming consoles out there. And also beyond that, it is key in designing and making APIs for data science and high performance computing. NVIDIA at the moment has a market cap of $459 billion, just $1 billion below Bitcoin current market capitalization. Of course, most people out there know NVIDIA and they know the good work they are doing and so forth. But trust me, NVIDIA is at a lower market size compared to Bitcoin. Yes, you heard it right. And by the way, NVIDIA has, as of now, 22,400 employees worldwide. Guys, that's the first company which I can compare with Bitcoin for you to appreciate just how big Bitcoin is, and also considering Bitcoin's value has really dipped from all-time high of about 60-something K USD to the current price of 24K USD. And then the second company I'm going to be looking at is the Samsung company, which actually is a manufacturing conglomerate. I'm very sure you have a Samsung electronic in your house, and if you don't have, chances are your neighbor or a family member has, in fact, multiple Samsung appliances in their house. Samsung is a manufacturing conglomerate which is headquartered in Seoul, South Korea, and it came to be in 1938. That's about 84 years ago in the then Japanese Korea, because Korea was part of the Japanese Empire between 1910 and 1945. And over the years, Samsung has really diversified. Samsung has interest, for example, in electronics, in manufacturing, in semiconductors, in insurance, and so forth. This shows you the diversification which has happened over the years. And at the moment, Samsung has over 220,000 employees worldwide. And market cap of Samsung is about $310 billion. This shows you the market cap of Samsung is below that of Bitcoin by about $140 billion. And then the third company which we're going to be comparing to Bitcoin is Pfizer. Pfizer is an American pharmaceuticals and biotech company which was founded in 1849. That is 173 years ago. It's kinda insane if you think about it. Bitcoin was released about 13 years ago, and yet Pfizer has been in existence for over 170 years. Yet the market cap of Bitcoin is a whopping $460 billion. On the other hand, the market cap of Pfizer is $278 billion. Yes, Pfizer is doing a very good work, because at the moment talking about Pfizer actually having employed almost 80,000 people worldwide. And with the corona pandemic, which happened about 2 years ago and is still on, Pfizer has been able to make insane revenues, to make insane profits and so forth. Their shares have increased and increased in the market, actually bumping up the market cap of Pfizer. And then the fourth company I'm going to be comparing with Bitcoin is the Alibaba group of companies. We all know Alibaba, we all know Jack Ma, who came up or developed the Alibaba. Alibaba is a technology company with interest specifically in e-commerce, because it is pushing very huge volumes in trade through their e-commerce platform Alibaba. And Alibaba is headquartered in China, specifically Hangzhou in China. It was founded 23 years ago, that is in the year 1999. As we're speaking right now, Alibaba has over 250,000 employees worldwide. Guys, Alibaba has had very many people out there. And of course, it has a market cap of $249 billion. This shows you the market cap of Alibaba is about $210 billion below that of Bitcoin. Kinda insane if you think about it. That is how big Bitcoin is. And then the fifth company which I'm going to be comparing to Bitcoin is McDonald's. Of course, many people out there enjoy McDonald's meals from that fast food chain of restaurants which has over 40,000 restaurants worldwide, don't knowing that McDonald's is actually one of the big corporates out there. But compared to Bitcoin, McDonald's is actually of less market capitalization in comparison to Bitcoin, because McDonald's has a market cap of $192 billion, yet Bitcoin has a market capitalization of almost 460 something billion US dollars. This shows you just how big Bitcoin is compared to McDonald's. And by the way, McDonald's worldwide has employed over 200,000 employees. This shows you just how big Bitcoin is compared to McDonald's. With a market cap of 192 billion US dollars, McDonald's is actually shy of Bitcoin by almost twice in value, in real sense. Guys, these are the 5 companies I wanted to compare with Bitcoin for you just to see how big Bitcoin is out there. Compared to Pfizer, compared to Samsung, compared to McDonald's, among other companies. Bitcoin is very, very huge with regards to its market capitalization, essentially showing you its firm size is big compared to all these companies, these multinationals which have spread their wings all over the world. And as I look to conclude this video, you need to understand the basis with which I've used to compare Bitcoin to these other big companies out there is the market capitalization, which signifies the company or the firm size. But also need to understand these companies I've mentioned have different other valuations which Bitcoin don't have, because Bitcoin is an intangible token. Yes, the anchoring technology has value, but it's actually intangible compared to other big companies out there. For example, Pfizer, which is a very huge pharmaceutical and biotechnology company with very many assets, with very many intellectual properties out there and so forth. As compared to, for example, Samsung, which is a very huge manufacturing conglomerate with many assets, with many IPs and so forth. So the sole basis with which I've compared these companies is the market capitalization. Y'all can look at other matrices out there and go and realize, for example, Bitcoin doesn't even inch closer to these big companies which I've mentioned. But on basis of market capitalization, it shows you Bitcoin is big compared to all these companies I've talked about. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I look forward to share with you other awesome insights with regards to cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and comparisons with other companies out there. Cheers, and you all take care.